Hi, everybody. Welcome. Diana here at So Uncommon, and today is countdown day 3 to the Starlight Starbright Quilt Along. Are you getting excited? I know I am getting so excited. So this is what I've been doing this morning. I have been in the lab, aka the kitchen, and I have been taking and removing the stabilizer. I've been washing out all the stabilizer from my blocks for week 1, and I have posted on yesterday's countdown video, which would be for day 4, both of my videos on wash away stabilizer. Either how to do it by the segment, and that video is longer and gives you like the recipe and all the information that you need, whether you're by segment or by full block. So watch that. That'll help you be prepared during the video or during the quilt along. So today I have been in the kitchen taking out all the stabilizer from my one blocks. And it was nice. I got to run my hands in warm water. So my hands have been sore this week, and because it's turned kind of cold here. So I should have I have a little wrap thing I do with that kind of a gauze that seals onto itself. It's like a bandage. Um, eh, to support my hands when they start to get sore from overuse. I've had years and years of carpal tunnel and all that where I've had surgery. So this isn't the problem, but I have a little bit of a tendon problem right in here because many, many, many years ago when I lived in Florida, and ultrasound treatment was a brand new thing. So that's, decades ago. Um, they were ultrasounding this to try to stimulate healing of an injury I had from playing volleyball, and they broke my finger. They had it set too high. The technician wasn't quite fully trained. Like I said, it was brand new. I went back into the doctor's office after the treatment. I was supposed to go right back in, and I did. And they came in and said, "Hey, how's that finger and all doing?" And I'm like, "Well, it's still just as sore as it was before." And they said, "Yeah, and it's now broken." Oh, what a nightmare that was. Um, so anyway, um, this gives me trouble when it gets cold sometimes. It's not arthritis, thank goodness it's not arthritis yet, but it's a tendon thing in here. And so it felt really good to run my hands under warm water today while I was working with my segment blocks for the week 1 block. So that's what I've been doing today because I'm so excited. So excited. But today's countdown, I know, stop, Diana. But today's countdown video is hopefully something that's going to, 1, get you excited, and 2, get you inspired, and 3, get you moving on getting prepped if you haven't already. So I've told you about this before, but I want to tell you more about it today. At the end of the quilt along, which is 5 weeks, you will have until the end of the year, so until the end of 2023, to finish your quilt top. Now, if you stay up with us all along the way, you should be done with your quilt top at the 5th week. That's when you get your layout. I feel like this little piggy went to market here. On the 5th week, you get your layout. And by the 6th week or 7th week, you should have it all stitched together and be done. But because we're in the holiday season and we're rolling along and we're going to have some cool little projects coming up, I thought, let's give you to the end of the year to get the top completely sewn together. Doesn't have to be quilted or bound at that point, just the top. And you post a picture on our Facebook page, So Uncommon. Imaginative name, right? So then your name will be put in for a drawing because we are giving away 3 one-year memberships to the National Quilt Museum, you guys. The National Quilt Museum in Paducah, Kentucky. And I wanted to talk about this some more today because I want you to kind of know more about the museum. It's a great place. It's a great place for education. It's a great place for inspiration. When I was just there again back in June, every time I go, there's something different there because they're always having different exhibits and stuff. I just got so inspired to come home and start doing some different things because although those quilts are not pieced on our embroidery machines or on anyone's embroidery machine, some of those things can be done on the embroidery machine. So my brain just started spinning, and I was so excited about coming home and starting to do those things. And so I wanted to share that all with you. Let me read what a quilter said about the National Quilt Museum. The National Quilt Museum is truly a national treasure. Donations help support and continue the work of providing the public with this wonderful and amazing resource. And it is a wonderful and amazing resource. There have been times I've called down and talked to someone just to get an idea of something in my mind, or just to talk to another person. I know, but they're great about it. And so the National Quilt Museum is uh, was designated the National Quilt Museum by the U.S. Congress. So when we say the National Quilt Museum, we're just not talking about somebody who plastered the name national on the front of Quilt Museum. They have actually been designated the National Quilt Museum by the United States Congress. Pretty cool, right? And that was done in 2008. Um, the museum was founded in 91, but it got that special designation in 2008. Um, as your National Quilt Museum, we maintain a permanent collection of nearly 700 of the most celebrated quilts in the world, in addition to hosting temporary exhibitions of outstanding quilts made by individuals and guilds. And so I know back in June when we were there were quilts from around the world that I had not seen there. There was like a whole little selection by a quilter from Japan that did some fantastic things, very modern art kind of quilting. And I will say this, the Quilt Museum, if you go and you're expecting to see just a lot of our more traditional patchwork quilts on the walls, you'll be disappointed if that's what you want to see, because the Quilt Museum is so much more. Those pieces really are pieces of art, and they're gorgeous. Now, some are patchwork, some are not. Some have embroidery. The miniatures that were hand embroidered blew me away. So it's a fantastic place. And I want to tell you that when you become a member or a friend of the museum, these are some of the benefits you're going to get with your year membership. As a visitor, when you come, you and a friend will get a free admission to the museum 7 days a week. That's really nice because admission for an adult is $15. You get that free every time you go, as long as you're a member, and you can take someone with you. They will also, if you want to set up like a guided tour stuff with guilds and things like that, they'll help you set all of that up. Do any kind of special things that need to be done. The museum is within a walkable distance from hotels and restaurants and shopping. The downtown, if you've never been to the old downtown Paducah area, it has become like a real art place. Great live music, live jazz. I love it. It reminds me kind of a little bitty version of New Orleans. I've spent a lot of time in New Orleans in my life, and the old downtown part of Paducah kind of reminds me of that old New Orleans style. Live music, really good food, and the National Quilt Museum. Your parking is always free, and you can plan other trips in the area and all, because remember, um, the Tennessee Valley Authority dam system and all is there, which is incredible. And if I can, like, pump him up a little bit, Dave's uncle, one of his mother's older brothers, was part of that whole thing. And it's incredible. The tour there is it's a little bit scary when you look at it and you see this lake, Kentucky Lake, that was created by backing up these rivers. But it's incredible. It's a great place. So if you're planning a trip there, you can go through the convention center and plan all of that along with your trip to the museum. Now, the shop there, they have a great shop. And you get they have books. I got some great quilters, the sweatshirts and t-shirts there. They have like some little mini quilts that you can buy there, or they did when we were there. I'm sure that stuff changes out. But you get a 20% discount as a friend of the museum. And not just when you're there physically, but on their online shop as well. So you can use that year round. If you're looking for gifts for your quilting friends or a quilting family member, that's always like the first place I go to look. What do they got at the museum? I got the great book, which is uh, was done several years ago about most of the collection there, which was great because it not only tells you information and shows you the picture, but there's a little QRS code. And when you snap it and link to that, tons more information. So that was great. And there's also learning experiences. You'll receive 20% off any classes, special programs, or learning opportunities offered by the National Quilt Museum in person and online. That's right. So if you live out in Washington State, hello to all my friends out in Seattle. Hello to all my good friends out on Whidbey Island. I heard you guys had a 4.3 earthquake yesterday. That was a little bit of a waker upper, right? Yeah. I lived out there on the island for several years. We never had an earthquake until we moved into Seattle. That's when we had the big earthquake then. So anyway, um, if you live out on the coast, you can take a class online. Cool. That's cool. These are great benefits, you guys. It opens up your world to so many more quilters, to so much more education, to all the great gifts, all of that stuff. So, and then of course in here it just tells you how to become a member. Um, let's see. Let me read you one more quilt recommendation here from one of the members. I have been a friend of the National Quilt Museum since it opened in 1991 and feel it is important to support the museum by being a friend. We all need to help the museum so it will continue to provide exhibits, education, and even a little shopping opportunity. I agree with Pat Holly Quilter, is what it says here. So I hope you don't mind my reading that, Pat Holly. Don't know you, but I hope you don't mind my reading because it's in the brochure. Um, and I know Dave's cousin, who is one of the world's best portraiture art quilters in the world. Um, she's had stuff in the National. She loves it there. She was born and raised there in Paducah. So I was almost born in Paducah. I was born right across the Illinois state line. My mom had to go back to an Illinois hospital when she went into labor with me because my dad was in the Navy. That's where they sent me to be born. But she and my grandmother were in Paducah doing their trading, aka their shopping, their market day stuff, their grocery shopping. Um, and so um, I feel a very fond connection to Paducah. Dave, of course, has family there, had family there. It's a great place. And so I want you all to know that when I was thinking about what would be the giveaway, I could give stacks of fabric and patterns and stuff, and all that's always great. And we do that throughout the year. We've done it this past year. But I thought something that might be more meaningful to all of you in the long term would be one of these memberships. Now we're giving 3 away. We're picking them at random by everybody who loads up a picture on the Facebook page by the end of the year of the Quilt Along quilt. Okay. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you don't win one of those 3 memberships, we are considering a scholarship program to get more people involved with the National Quilt Museum here at So Uncommon. The education that you get here and how they are preserving this art form requires me as a quilter and as a business person, for in my estimation, to do everything I can to help people be involved in that. So coming this year, you'll learn more about the scholarship program in order to become a friend of the museum that will be here at So Uncommon. We're still working out some of the details, but that's coming. But 3 of you will get this. So that is day 3's countdown. So let's review real quick. Do you have your information sheets? Do you have your patterns all over at the website, souncommon.com? All 3. Do you have your fabric? Oh, if you don't have your fabric yet, get that information sheet and start either digging through your stash tonight, or take a little trip to your local fabric store still today, because it's only 3:45 here in Illinois. And so I know it on the West Coast, it's 2 hours earlier. On the East Coast, it's an hour later, but it's okay. Go tonight. Go first thing in the morning. Get your fabric if you need to go and get some. Okay. So do you have your information, your patterns? Do you have your fabric? Have you started prepping your fabric? Please, please get your fabric prepped, because then you're going to be set to go when the video posts on Friday. And it's not too early to do it. Like literally, if you picked your fabric and it's been sitting there in this little bin or whatever, however you like put your, and you're like, oh, I've been waiting for a day this week to do it now. Do it now. Because you want to stay on top of it. It's just going to make the quilt along go so much better. And there are things coming in the quilt along that I haven't told you about. Ooh, fun stuff. So we have lots of fun things planned. So that's this week. Got to the end of the year to get the top done, ladies and gentlemen, because I know there's lots of you guys out there. And welcome to So Uncommon Family, guys. If you haven't felt welcome yet, I want to welcome all you gentlemen out there that are part of the family, because quilting isn't just for ladies, it's for guys too, for sure. Anybody who wants to do this art form, welcome. Come on in. All right, folks, that's all for day 3. Day 2 tomorrow, because we only have a couple more days. So if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do so. Let me remind you really quickly that the quilt along is pieced. The segment pieces are pieced on your embroidery machine, a little finished stitching over on the sewing machine, or if you have a combo machine, you just flip out the bed there. But please subscribe to the channel. We'd love to have you here. Even if you're not going to take part in the quilt along, we'd love to have you as part of the So Uncommon family, because we are the home of the Build-A-Quilt system, piecing your quilts in the hoop on your embroidery machine. And you can get our Build-A-Quilt system, our first set system, which is going to give you all the basics that you need to get started, over on our website as well. So click and subscribe, because we'd love to have you. Set your little bell there to get your notifications. And until tomorrow, you know what's coming. So life beautiful, everybody. Have a great afternoon, a great evening, and we'll see you again real soon. Bye for now.